is Joy Wilson. I am a broadcaster and a counselor. Welcome to Seeds of Joy. My aim is to help bring to mind some of the little things that we do or don't do in our relationship that can sometimes, make it a bit shaky. Today, I want to tell a little story. Once in the animal kingdom, there was a great famine, and all the animals struggled so much to survive. But lion decided to kill the animals one after another to feed himself. And so the animals came together to devise a means to cage lion. And they succeeded, mainly because they worked together. And then one day, a young boy was passing by, and Lion pleaded with the boy to let him out of the cage. The boy said, "No, Lion, you." "Well, I won't do that because I know once I let you out of the cage, you are going to eat me up." Lion swore on everything holy and pleaded with this young man, "Please let me out. I will not eat you. Come on." After a while, the boy said, "Okay, I will let you out." A minute after the young man let Lion out, he pounced on him and said, "Wow, you are the perfect meal for me after such a long time because I am starved. I have not eaten." The young man is like, "Hey, Lion, you swore on everything holy to not eat me. So why? What happened?" Lion said, "Oh, forget it. In this life, people always pay evil for good. I mean, it's all over the place." The young man said, "No, that couldn't be true." Lion is like, "Okay, so we're going to go around, ask 3 animals. If they all agree that people always pay evil for good, then I'll eat you." The young man, trusting that somebody out there is bound to, say no, that people pay evil for good is not so true, decided, "Okay, let's go." And so they started going. The first animal they met was dog. They asked dog, "Is it true that people always pay evil for good?" Dog is like, "Oh, absolutely. People always pay evil for good. Let me tell you my story. I am man's best friend. We go to the bush together. I help him hunt the best animals. And when we come home, they eat everything and give me just bones. And they even forget that in the night when they are sleeping, I am the one who keep watch, making sure that nothing comes to harm them." And then Lion said, "Okay, so you see, 1-0. So they asked another animal, goat. And goat is like, "Oh, it's true. People always pay evil for good." Lion said, "Why?" And goat is like, "Well, humans use my dung to fertilize their soil. And when the garden is beautiful and green, they don't even let me taste one leaf. Yesterday, the farmer almost killed me by throwing his knife at me just because I attempted to taste the leaf. People always pay evil for good." Lion said, 2-0. And so they kept going. And then they met Tortoise. And they asked Tortoise, "Tortoise, is it really true that people always pay evil for good?" And then Tortoise is like, "You know what? I really want to understand this story. I want you to take me back to where all this started, because I want you to reenact everything for me to understand." So they went back there. And Tortoise is like, "Well, so how did it happen?" The young man is like, "Well, he was in a cage." And Tortoise is like, "Go, Lion, go back to the cage. I want to understand the whole thing." And the tortoise is like, was the cage locked?" Then the young man said, "Oh, yes, it was locked." Tortoise is like, "Lock it, I want to see." As soon as the young man locked it, Tortoise is like, "Well, that's the end of the story. I don't want to understand anything. I don't want to know anything. All I know is that you did something good and you almost killed for it." Well, what's the moral of this story? From my perspective, you see, sometimes marriage is as good as the support it has. Okay? Parents, brothers and sisters, friends, church members, pastors, wives, etc. Sometimes the people in a marriage will have problems and they will come to us. That is not the time to narrate your own story. Yes, goat and dog were all right because what happened to them was real. It's true. Your husband may have hurt you. Your wife may have hurt you. Your mother-in-law may have done something to you. But as of that time, what they need is your support, your wise words, your prayer, your encouragement. Oh, fancy women. It's true. Your wife is a fancy. Then you are dead. Ever men. Hey. That is not the time to tell you, you don't know. My sister married an ever man. Hey, what happened? That man is not your, whoever is telling you about their stories, husband. It's different. So don't go discouraging them. Don't go pouring petrol in the whole situation. Find a way. You know, a man said that, well, yeah, Busane say, Ananu assemble nesi, and yes, say assemble nesi. I mean, imagine, look, it's AFCON time. Imagine if the Black Stars walk on the pitch, you know, ready and willing, you know, to make Ghana proud. They are professionals, they are trained for it. But imagine if the Ghanaian supporters start booing them, boo, and start throwing pure water and bananas and apples and start saying, oh, you know, what would that make them feel? It would dampen their spirits, although they are professionals, although they are trained for it, although they are footballers already. Something will happen to them on that pitch. The same thing applies to marriage. You are a counselor in the church. Stop. So for mommy, obi wo wasori mu wabeka se me kunu yese nke mema de san what you and jano anano kra men hunu that is the time they need your wise words. That is the time they need your support. That is the time they need you to be there. If all wives, if all Christian women will stand, hold each other's hands physically and spiritually, physically with wise words, with words of encouragement to spur them on, you know, spiritually with prayer and with making pronouncements on their marriages that will help them stand. Trust me, Christian marriages will be beautiful. But what do we see these days? Mother-in-law, for my son, he doesn't like this. For my son, he doesn't like that. This woman, for a crobble woman, I told you, this crobble woman you've gone to marry. Hey, mother-in-law, I know he's your son. You love your son. But they are married now. If the woman does not know how to do something, instead of, you know, encouraging her, teaching her, you are there comparing. They are married to somebody else. That is what is killing us. The support of every marriage is so important. If some marriages had people who were willing to stand and encourage and support and spur them on into the future, nkawari ebe so say munya si yehwehwe petro go awari mu na waba na wabe kana semwachiro munya butre usi sa na mikunu ye me efa ho ben na wari enye wawari with the problem na enye wo problem e wo mu say wasi a wo ye angunani bi ye wo bibi but esun sa angunani asu we nti enke kan ni timbo kan o mamu ohia wo so be mana kukudro ohia so be kasem bi ato ni trim say gina painting na be ye nya fe na wo be ka sa no muti o there be ye nya sa ye support o na me sure say bibia be okay enya hu kraman ene if anything o dwan muka say sa na wi asete there be ye hu tortoise ope say obetu no bu ati asem no akomu ye de baby asem no puma sibre esi Madam was some share. Your friend Joy Wilson. Saya would die. No one for friends with me. God bless you.